Hey guys, well, I know it seems like I've been gone for a while, but like I said in my Tariba video that just posted a little while ago, I had to do this one because I want to, continue with my Dinner and a Monster thing. First, I want to show you this. I love this shirt. It's Nosferatu, right? Now, I saw a comedian wearing it that I used to be fond of, but I don't really like them anymore because they're kind of like gone off the deep end. But anyway, he was wearing this shirt, and I was like, oh my gosh! And I'm not usually one that goes, oh hey, that famous person is wearing this, so I must have it too. I'm more of the, I'm not trying to say I'm a nonconformist, but I'm not a trendy person by any means. I mean, yeah, granted, I'm doing Tariba and junk like that, but I'm just not a trendy person. But I had to get the shirt because it's got, I love puns. Puns are great. There are a lot of people that hate them, but I don't know why. They should just, go away. We don't like puns. And so I had to get it because I just thought it was funny. Anyway, all that aside, welcome to 2019, where I promise that once a week I will start doing videos for movies that I watched on Netflix or Amazon Prime. So the first movie I have done for 2019 is the film Stephanie. It came out in 2017. I had to write some notes because I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. Shree Crooks stars as Stephanie, the little girl in the film. And I had seen her before, and I couldn't figure out where I had seen her. And it turns out she played Scarlett in American Horror Story Hotel. Scarlett was the little girl whose brother disappeared. So, and then she grew up and blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to try not to give too much away, obviously, because my mom and my aunt saw it, and they really enjoyed it. And so they were like, oh, you need to see this. Now, they did tell me the end, because I'll be honest, spoilers never have really fazed me. I don't really care. So, they did tell me that. In fact, I don't really like surprises as a whole. But yeah, so they told me the end and everything, and it actually turned out, the way they explained it, everything was really good. It was very well done. Now, a few notes. The movie is about an hour and a half, but it's not boring. You really get drawn into it. Stuff happens, very close to the beginning of the movie. So it's almost like boom, 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 but it's not in a bad way. It's not in a, wow, there's too much going on. It's at one time. It was actually done very well, but you're not having, because I know with some horror movies, you sit there for the first 45 minutes to an hour waiting for anything to happen, and nothing happens. And then, the last 45 minutes, last 30 minutes, whatever, something finally happens, and you're let down because you had all this boring build-up. And so this movie does not disappoint. It is extremely intense. Like I said, I'm not going to try to give too much away, but the beginning of the film, it opens up to a little girl. Oh, by the way, this is done by Universal and Blumhouse, which Blumhouse did Insidious, Conjuring, and Sinister. And of those, Insidious is my favorite, mainly because I was a big fan of Tiny Tim when I was little, because, when you're a little kid, tiptoe through the tulips, But anyway, so it starts out, and I don't know how many days pass, but it's a little girl by herself, and there is something that keeps coming into the house with her, or to get her, or whatever. And the thing is with that is you kind of end up feeling like you're a little kid again. Like this Shree Crooks girl is amazing. She really just personified like what it's like when you were a little kid and you were scared of being home alone. And see, I grew up in the 80s. So at 7 and 8 years old, you were able to be, now I think the age is 13 in Georgia, but, back when I was little, I could be home alone at 7 and 8 years old, and, by then by 7 I had a little brother, and he was home with me as well. So it wasn't, now I'm not saying that my mom was irresponsible by any means. It was a different time, okay? I grew up in an era where there were 7 and 8 year olds, even 6-year-olds that were latchkey kids. And for the younger generations, what a latchkey kid was they were a kid that mom and dad both worked and were still at work when they got off from school. So instead of going to a neighbor's house or grandma's house or whatever, they had a little key on a necklace around their neck, and they would go into their house and lock the door and hang out until mom and dad got home. And that was a latchkey kid. So you got to think the time period was very different. Now, there weren't any more or less, honestly, kidnappings then or now. You know, I mean, than there were now. It's still, you know, pretty much a lot. But it was a different time. It was a little easier. You know, I can't even remember when they changed the law to be, you know, kids can't be home under the age of 13. Like, I knew how to use the microwave and the stove and all that well before I was 13 years old. But I usually just use the microwave because the stove, I'm lazy. But anyway, so, but you're put into the position of this little girl that's, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, I don't know how old she's supposed to be, it doesn't really specify. Alone in this house, and there's something that keeps going in the house. You hear these noises, you don't see anything, but you start hearing stuff. And she has this little turtle named Francis that she keeps with her. And you do eventually see her parents, which I think that was in the trailer anyway. So you do eventually see her parents. You find out some pretty interesting stuff. Now I will tell you that the beginning is sad, and there's like a sadness toward the end. I'm not going to go into detail, but there is definitely, and I'm not talking like the end, I'm talking like 10 minutes before the movie's over, because you have that moment of, wow, this really just sucks. There, I don't know how to explain this. There are moments where you're wanting to turn the light back on. Because, you know, I watch these movies in the dark because I don't want the reflection on the television. The dog is calmer when it's dark than when I have the light on if I'm watching a movie. He gets into movies, and one day maybe I'll film him watching a movie, because he will get into movies and watching me play video games. But I can't always let him be on my bed, because he's very distracting. He's still a puppy, so he doesn't want to be settled. He doesn't like to settle down when he's on my bed. He has to sniff everything and, you know, get into everything and do all the things he's not supposed to do. So he usually will sit in his crate when I'm watching a movie for that reason. Now, he did watch part of this movie with me, and he was pretty calm, but I think he's just tired. So anyway, so there's something in this house, or it's outside, and it keeps coming in the house. And so you go through Stephanie hiding from the thing and telling Francis to be quiet and all that stuff. And then again, like I said, her parents come back at one point, and that's, again, not giving anything away because it's in the trailer. And then you find out some pretty interesting things. I don't know if this goes more towards science fiction or horror. It's kind of in between, because it does have a little bit of like an alien vibe to it. But that part's not really explained. I'm sure if I paused it and read the newspaper clippings that it kept showing up on the screen, then I might go, oh, okay, now I understand what's going on. But yeah, here's the only hint, and I only give this hint because there's so few people that have seen this anime. But if you're a fan of the anime Elfenlied, which I believe is how it's pronounced, if I'm not mistaken, then you should be a fan of this, because there are very big similarities between one of the characters and the character Lucy in Elfenlied. Okay? Now, there is an incident where an animal dies. You don't see how the animal dies, but the animal does die. So if you are sensitive to that, you may not want to see this. I'm not, because I know it's not real. It's just, you know, a fake animal. So stuff like that doesn't really bother me. But what I usually have an issue with, and this is what I was afraid was going to happen in this film, was I can't handle children dying. It depends on the circumstances. Okay, so in The Quiet Place, a child dies. I won't say what child, but a child dies at the very beginning of the film. And I guess it just happened so quick that it didn't affect me. I mean, I felt bad because, you know, as a kid, and I love kids. Don't have any of my own, but my nieces are my world. But, so that really bothered me because it happened so fast. But I won't, there's 2 movies I won't see. Okay, so I don't care how much you guys beg me to watch them or anything like that, I'm not going to see them. And one of them is Mama, and the other one is The Witch, or Witch. I can't remember exactly if it's The Witch or Witch, but I can't watch Mama because the little girl's name is Lily. I just can't. I'm sorry. And I can't watch The Witch because there's a baby involved, and that makes me uncomfortable. I mean, everybody has a line. Like, I've watched some pretty intense films. I've watched some pretty gross films. I've watched some films that people look at me and go, really, you watched that? Yeah, I've seen it, whatever. Didn't bother me. I can't watch movies. Like, I will legit ask, if, like, there's a horror movie with a kid in it, I'll just be like, hey, does something kill this kid? Does this kid die? And if they say, well, I don't want to give it away, I'll be like, you gotta give it away or I'm never going to see it. And so they tell me, and if they say, yeah, a kid dies, whatever, then depending on the circumstances again, I will or won't see it. If it's like done like The Quiet Place, yeah, I'll probably see it because it happened really fast, and you didn't get to know the character. It wasn't like a tragic thing. Like I have a hard time watching the original Pet Sematary because of Gage. Because he's a little kid. He's like 24 months old, I think is what he said. 2 years old. Get that whole 24 months thing. He's 2 years old, and he gets killed. He gets hit by the semi, and then he comes back. And I can't watch that one. It tears me up. I mean, I will watch it, but even though he's bad at the end of the movie, I can't help it. It's like watching Christine. I feel sorry for a car, and Carrie. Because to me, even though Carrie wasn't a child, and Carrie is one of my favorite movies, by the way. So if anyone ever, wants to know what my favorite movie is, Carrie is definitely one of my all-time favorite horror movies. But I saw her because she had a childlike innocence to her. So that one kind of got to me too, but not nearly as bad as I know that Mama would and The Witch or Witch, whatever it is. So anyway, I do recommend watching Stephanie. Stephanie was a very good movie. It's very intense. There's a little bit of like side boob in it, but there's not like nudity. There's a very small amount of swearing, and it's not the F word. It's lower words. So I would probably let my nieces watch this because they know they're not supposed to repeat that language, stuff like that. But anyway, so it's about time to wrap up. If you would be awesome and like and subscribe this video. I was looking into, I love doing this. I really do, it's fun, but I would like to update my equipment, and that requires a little bit of, So if I can get like 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 watched hours, I don't know what that means, then I can become a monetized YouTube channel, which means I can get better equipment, which means I can get better backdrops, I can do more stuff. By the way, and like I said, I am going to be doing different content, more content. I have a friend who has a spirit box. We're going to play around with that and see what we can find. I'm going to do more Chariva unboxings. I might even put a short, we had a trailer we put up. This is not horror movie related at all. It's something that we need to re-edit and everything, and I might put that up, see what you guys think, because it meant a lot to me. This, that, and the other. So at the end of the day, that's Stephanie. I know I kind of went on a little tangent, but I felt like I needed to for that. But yeah, do see Stephanie if you get a chance. It's on Netflix currently. I don't know how long it's going to be on Netflix because when my mom and my aunt saw it, this was a few months ago, and you know how like Netflix, like, all right, when you're about to watch a movie or something, it's gone when you finally get a chance. So yes, go on Netflix and watch Stephanie. It's really good, especially if you like intense movies. Movies that it didn't make me uncomfortable in the sense of creepy, but it was just like you're sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for something to happen, and I like those kind of movies. So yeah, but anyway, so I guess that's all. Have a great day, and I will see you next week sometime when I do the next one. Talk to you later.